guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to another code video. So last video we ended up getting the firewall pad situated. If you guys tuned into that video, you guys saw it wasn't really a direct fit. I got it to fit. I got it to work. Made the necessary modifications in order to get it installed. So with that installed, we are now working with the American Autowire wiring system. So just really quick, I did kind of open it up. I'm gonna put it there. I did kind of open it up really quick, and I did end up just glancing at it. I haven't really opened up much of the packaging. Kind of glanced over the instructions a bit, and there are a few revisions. So they gave you like the updated instructions for the revisions. But as you can see, everything is still in kind of its designated packaging. And that's the one that we're going to start with, which is the main one with the fuse box. Now, just want to let you guys know that this is my first time actually rewiring an entire car. I've done little kids play in the back. I've done a few little modifications here and there with like lighting, car audio and stuff like that, some repair work on some electrical systems on some cars, but I'm in no way a professional. This is the first time I'm actually doing this to a whole entire car. Instructions seem pretty straightforward, and the purpose of this video is because, number one, for my build process on the 67 Mustang, and secondly, I would like to show everybody out there that, you know, to not be scared of doing things like this. I mean there is a risk of things catching on fire and stuff like that, but that's why we have safety precautions in place, like the fuses and stuff like that. Now, if you follow along with the instructions and, you know, with the help of a few YouTube videos, a task like this is very, very completable for you guys. So just let you guys know right now that this video, it's not going to be one prolonged video. It's going to be a series of videos just because I am on a time crunch, so my work days are very limited. But really quick, I'm going to start unboxing this, and part of me is going to go through the instructions, a part of me is not going to go through instructions just because I want to route some of these wires in a specific way. A lot of it I want to hide. I don't really want to run it through, like, let's say like the designated hole here. So I'm going to have to find some like grommets to go in here. If anything, it's going to pop out of right here, the apron, and I'm gonna have to find a way to like mold it so I can run up here. That will give me a lot cleaner look. The original one actually runs through here, comes across here, and there's some buttons that go up here on the shock tower, and then it runs here. Then it goes here to the regulator, which I won't be running since I will be running a 3rd generation alternator. We'll get into that in another video. But yeah, I'm gonna start unboxing the main wire loom. I'm gonna brush up on the instructions really quick, and then I'm gonna figure out exactly where they want us to mount the fuse box, because that is actually step 1, and as well as remove the wiper blade support bracket, because that's where they want us to mount the relays. So really quick, let me get that going and I'll catch up with you guys. Pro tip: remove your seats. It will make your life a lot easier to do this job. So looking at it from like the cabin side into the dashboard, that's the bracket that we got to remove right there. So we have one bolt there and one bolt right next to it. You guys, not sure if you guys can see it, but there's 2 bolts up here. These are 7/16s. These got to be loosened up. They don't have to be removed. The actual bracket itself is slotted. So basically when you loosen up these 2, sorry, and then the bottom 2 you actually have to remove, this bracket should slide downward. Now looking at it from underneath the dashboard, you can see it a little bit better. The bolts that I was speaking of are up here. This is the bracket right here. Now you have one bolt there, another bolt on that side, also 7/16, and this is a wiper blade arm nut that connects to the actual wiper blade motor itself. The relays want to get mounted onto this somewhere on this bracket, so this bracket needs to come out in order to basically drill the holes for those bolts. And it will also be easier because the fuse box mounts on this part here, which is the reason why I wanted to hurry up and get this firewall pad installed. So let me get this bracket out and then I'll catch up with you guys. Okay, so they want you to cut this out and then they want you to tape it up here. This is a double-sided type deal, so even if you cut it, it's like a sticky type, you'll take it off and you can put it here wherever you want it to. Now it's important to actually kind of look and see where is this going to orientate to, because as you see, the wires are naturally kind of pulling to the left side. Readings go on this side, so they're pulling to the left side towards the fuse box. And remember, this goes upside down into the car, so this actually faces towards the front. So they want you to mount this here. Now, like I said, you could use a sticker piece and stick it on here, but it's not rocket science. What I'm gonna do, if I can do this with one hand, is more or less take up the difference there on the left side and on the right side. Then use a marker, mark the hole there, mark the hole there, and then you can drill. It says here they want you to drill the holes at 0.125. 0.125, that's a decimal number, so that is actually 1/8. And of course, screws not included. So it's always good to have screws that you can actually be able to put in there, some 1/8 screws, and make sure you get the ones that on the other side. Make sure you get the nylon locking nuts. That way these don't back out on you with the vibration all the time. So really quick, I'm gonna set this up, do my 2 marks, and then start drilling these holes. All right, so I don't feel like going to the hardware store right now just for 2 little bolts that I need, but I just want to show you guys real quick, one-handed. You can see there's a mark there and a mark there, and they line up perfectly there and there. Now I'm just going to use some self-tapping screws, since I do have those on hand, and those will work good with this. There's enough material on that head, on that flange head, to actually hold these in place. So real quick, 1, 2 self-tappers and we should be good to go. Alright, so 2 self-tappers, this ain't going nowhere. And for those wondering, if you measure from here, from this edge to about there is about 2 inches. These you can loosen them up and bring up and down whatever 1/4 inch they have right there. And the reason why I actually did that, because remember, you still gotta bolt this thing back up. So there's enough room for me to get my hand, put the nut up, put the bolt back on there, get a wrench or a ratchet, and still have enough room up there. Also wear gloves, because a lot of sharp metal behind this dashboard. Alright guys, so really quick, this is what I ended up with. If you look behind here, there's actually 4 bolt holes. In the instructions, there's only 3 screws included for mounting this box. So I always thought it was just the 2 outers and the one on top. If you look at the back of it, there's 3 on the bottom, 1 on the top. So I am going to use one on the bottom, 1 on top, on center. I also ended up buying these little spacers, 1/2 inch spacer, 1/4 inch on the inside, 3/8 on the outside. These are from Lowe's. So Hillman, I'm pretty sure Home Depot or Menards and all that place might have anything like this, depending on what hardware stores around you guys. And I'm going with these 1/4 inch by 1 inch long Allen head screws. And as you can see, the center hole there and the center hole there, I've actually made the holes a little bit bigger to accept that bolt. Now if I can get in here, yeah, it's kind of hard, but yeah. So if you can see, that is my pad, my firewall pad. So that spacer, it's actually pressed into the pad, so that's so that my pad doesn't get squashed as I'm tying it down. So I'm thinking that this pad is it's less than 1/2 inch, but That's why I put that spacer in there, just so that it doesn't crunch it down as I cinch these bolts down. So I put one on the bottom, one on the top. That top one already has a bolt through it. It's not all the way through. That's why it just looks kind of funny. But let's go here on the other side. And you can see there. So let me zoom out here. That's the top bolt. I drilled out the bottom one, which is going to be that one there. So put a bolt through there. Fuse box is going to sit here. And that bolt right there, that's the one that's going to go to the strap that holds the brake line that runs across here. Alright, so fuse box is now mounted. So you can see we got a bolt right there. And one behind the harness. You really can't see it. But another thing that I ended up doing was I ended up putting a washer. So now it's the spacer. Then the washer sits right behind the fuse box, just to give it a little bit more rigidity. You know, when you start tying it down, it tends to tighten up on the plastic, so it just gives it a little bit better mating area. So let me take you guys outside to the engine bay, and here we are on the engine bay side. So you can see that's the top bolt, bottom bolt. I'm gonna go ahead and give this wiper blade motor bracket quick wipe down. It's already off, so might as well get that wiped down. We'll get the relay bracket installed back there, and then we'll get this installed back into the dash. Alright, so the bracket's back on there. Wiper blade motor, the fuse box is down there, including the relay sockets. So really quick, Amazon came and dropped off a package that I've been waiting for, which is this split loom. So this is the one that has a cut in it, and basically you wrap it around the wire. This is the 1-inch diameter. I've got a few different diameters for different bundles. Like this is a lot smaller than obviously the actual main bundle of wires here. So basically what I've been doing is wrapping up the whole wire, just getting everything nice and tight with this Tessa tape. This is this cloth tape here. By the way, I'll leave a description to the loom, the split loom, and the tape down below in the description in case you guys want to do this. So basically just been wrapping it up with tape all the way to like the end. See this? I leave a little bit on the edges just so I can see the labels on the wire still. Then I will start my loom from here, and wherever there is a split here, everything will get taped, and that way it'll look like one continuous piece all the way throughout. So that's what I've been up to so far. So really quick, just gonna get this other piece on that I just took off over there. Then I'm gonna start to fish the wires up and over through behind the gauge area. Alright guys, so got it all routed and somewhat organized. So we'll start here, so these are the ones that are sticking out. So they give you an option for 3 different gauge cluster plugs. So the kit does come with its own wire harness that you have to basically rip out the original one and install theirs, and it will plug up to one of these. Or if you have like the coded digital, I should say, there are some digital signals in here for like the speedo and stuff like that as well. This one here that's left here, it is a ground, which is basically gonna go there. We'll clean up that area. This is when you have like some extra accessory lights. So like if you have gauges and stuff like that, you will connect it to this one. Like let's say you want to put pots and stuff like that. So that is that. These top ones, one of them is a flasher connector. The other one is for the hazards. This white one right here is for the wiper blade switch, so that's going to sit up here. These are all the ignitions. So the ignition, you have an accessory. I'm not sure what this brown one was. I don't think it's going to be used. Another ground. And so the harness just goes to the back, loops around to the side, and ends right there with these plugs here. One of them is for the front end, so like headlights, turn signals, and stuff like that. and the other one I believe is for the engine bay harness. And the one that loops, that goes into that hole right there, comes down over here, and that is this one here for the rear of the rear body of the car. So tail lights, reverse lights, turn signals, and I do believe the sending unit is also connected on this circuit here. Here you have courtesy lights. This blue and orange is for the switch, which they also do include. Over here you have the plug for the steering column. Here's an accessory, so you have on this circuit here you have fuel pump and stuff like that. So those are for accessories. Brake light switch. These are for like the radio. That one right there, that's for the heater box. Then up here I ran more wires. You guys can see that there. Loomed it nice and clean. And that goes to the underdash courtesy lights on the passenger side, and again the ones for the actual door switch. So yeah, that is pretty much the install of the underdash wiring kit. Got the fuse box up there. I did buy some of these wire clamps that I'll show you here in a second. I do suggest you get like a kit off Amazon. I will link them down below as well as this this wire loom stuff. You know, makes everything look a lot nicer, a lot cleaner. You know, these kits could be very kit. I mean, this is a very nice kit as is, but you know, your install will only be as clean as you make it. So yeah, where is that? This box right here. So I'll link this down below in the description. I think this box is 112 pieces, stainless steel, various sizes, rubber insulated, stainless steel, like I said. I think this box was like 20 bucks or something like that. So I'll link that down below in the description. I will also link the Tesla tape or the cloth tape in case you want to go the route that I did. This flex tube, I got this in a 1/2 inch. I got it in a 1 inch as well. I mean, obviously this stuff expands a lot bigger than the actual size it is, but yeah, I'll link both of those as well. So everything that I'm actually using, I will link. Alright guys, so that is going to be it for today. The video is I'm pretty sure it's getting pretty long, so just to summarize what we did, or what I did. Installed the fuse box, installed the whatever you guys want to call them, the relay sockets, the series of them. We mounted that onto the wiper blade motor bracket, routed all the wiring under the dash over to the gauge area and into like the door areas. I will link the split loom, both sizes that I'm using, which is the 1/2 inch and the 1 inch. I will also link the Tesla tape, which is the black tape that you guys saw me use, that cloth tape. I will also link the stainless steel the wire brackets, the little ones I showed you with the little rubber on them. I will also link those down below, and as well as the wiring kit if you guys want to use the wiring kit. Other than that, if you guys have any questions or anything based off what we did in this video, go ahead and leave them down below. I'm very good at answering people's questions and basically communicating with my audience. So I don't think there's anything else to say. Just want to say thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.